Today we're going to walk you through Reach's demographic append. As you can see from this file, I have a fairly simple amount of data consisting of first name, last name, mailing address, city, state, and zip code. What I would like to do with this file, as you can see, is pretty simple information, no contact information outside of first name, last name, and mailing address information. Maybe I want to segment this list for digital or mailing or email campaign or physical phone outreach purposes. We can always enrich this file utilizing our Contact Append Plus to access email and phone. But today we want to utilize this tool, as you can see, second from the left, demographic append, for segmentation purposes, and possibly to drop a few individuals out of the list because they're simply not my ideal customer profile and have a low probability of interacting with my marketing material, or even more importantly, converting to potentially a sale or whatever I'm attempting to do. The end file actually looks a heck of a lot like this. You can see the same first name, last name, and mailing information here. And then we match at an individual level on a number of different items, as well as household level on more household specific data points. You can see age range here at the headers, age range, gender, ethnicity group, religion, education level, how many kids in the household, are they married, single, household level income information, net worth, the year their home was built, purchase price, maybe net worth, do they own credit cards? Now, credit rating isn't from any of the credit bureaus. These are not supposed to be used for credit decision purposes, but just to give you an idea of what the potential range is, as well as automotive information and some additional mortgage information as well. You're able to upload the file in order to produce that output that I just showed you. You click into the demographic append feature, and we do provide you with a few different input record requirements. So you could start just with a simple email address. You could start with a simple phone address, phone, or a mixture of any of these. So the more data, usually the better for accuracy purposes and match purposes. So click to import. Click next steps, and we're going to get to a field mapping area. If you have headers, a lot of the times it'll map on your behalf. Otherwise, you can ignore fields and select other fields if there's a misalignment. Click next steps. Now we're going to choose what type of demographic information we want to select as an output. Each one of these 4 selections are their own individual categories. So for those that are familiar with credit matches, or match credits, I should say, you will get a match credit deducted every time one of these categories are associated with an individual. So if you select one and that matches to the individual input record, you'll have a credit match or a match credit deducted. If you select 2 categories and both categories match to that an individual record, you will have 2 match credits deducted. And then 3 and 4 if you select a 3rd and a 4th category. As you can see, we give you estimates. And again, these are simply estimates on what to expect. We seem to match at a much higher level on household level information, such as financial, again, household auto. And then we have an estimate for appends for basic information and lifestyles and interests, and like donations and political affiliation and whatnot. We do attempt to provide you with the total number of attributes in each category that will be appended down below. Now, you're somewhat blind at this point. Well, what is involved what is associated with each category? Well, you have the ability to view the attributes here. Just simply click underneath basic demographic, and click view attributes. We'll give you the data attributes that we'll be attempting to append with estimated match rates for each data attribute. Now, whether we append all of these attributes or just a handful, 1, 15, it doesn't matter. If a single attribute is associated with an input record, you will have a credit match or a match credit deducted. So it can be some, all, but never nothing. We will not be charged if we are not able to match any of the data in this category to the input record you uploaded. So I'm going to click next steps. I will place this in one of my recently created folders. You can always create an additional folder. Let's call this test 51. If I've ran a similar list recently and maybe there's some overlap or duplicate record in this file, and I don't want that same record that I ran 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago to be enriched again, then you can simply select manage exclusions. You do a one-time exclusion from a previous list, or maybe you don't want to enrich somebody that's opted out or a competitor, or well, that's more B2B, or somebody that's a current client. So you have the ability to manage exclusions and suppressions here. Let's click create. And within just a few clicks, we're going to create that file that I just previously showed you. Each category consists of about 20 data attributes. We do have many more data attributes associated with demographic information, upwards to about 380 to 400 data attributes. That data append functionality is available only via API. So this basic demographic feature that I'm highlighting via the UI will produce anywhere from 20 to 100 data attributes, depending on the categories you select. This feature is also available via API. But again, if you want a full 380 record view of demographic information associated with these input records, you would have to set that up via API. I will show you a file of all of that additional information. Same file here, a lot of the same information at first, but instead of, for example, the number of kids in the household, this full demographic will actually show you the number of kids in the household. All right, presence of children, no, no, yes. Let's keep on going. I'm gonna have to cut out this stuff. As you can see in this file, number of children in the household, 1, 2, 1, 1, 3. Well, wouldn't it be nice if we're able to identify how old the children were in that household? It's great to understand there's 3 children, but I'm selling potentially toddler clothing or infant clothing or baby needs. So it won't make much sense if I start targeting individuals that have kids that are of the age of 12 and 13 and 15. I want to really focus on those that are between 0 and 3. So let's try and find the column that will provide us how many kids within an age range. All right, as mentioned, here's column HS, people age 0 to 2 in the household. Well, there is a child in this household between the age of 0 and 2. And then you go on further, 3 to 5, 6 to 10, 11 to 15, so on and so forth. We'll never provide information specific to minors, but we will provide you with whether or not there are children under the age of 18 in the household, just nothing specific on those individuals. And then you can see it goes much further. It's not just children, but 35 to 44, so on and so forth. So you can get a better view of how the household is made up. So you can do the appropriate targeting. There's a number of additional information on a financial level and lifestyle level. So the previous demographic, the simple demographic append that I had completed here via the UI, it'll tell you stuff like lifestyles and interests, whether they like sports. Well, in the full demographic append, it'll actually tell you what kind of sports they're into. So you can see outdoor sports lover. There's some other examples as well. And then there are a number of additional, like I mentioned, financial information that is available via the full demographic. So financial information such as loan to value, some occupation information, the mortgage purchase lender. So much more in-depth information in the full demographic append. Now, there are a few additional match credits that are associated with full demographic. You're just getting everything in the kitchen sink in this case. So instead of being able to select 1 credit for basic demographic, 1 credit for household, 1 credit for lifestyles and interests, and 1 for political and donor, as you can see, we list every category out, how many match credits will be deducted per category. With full demographic via API, it'll just be a static 7 credits deducted for each record that has an associated output. And again, that consists of roughly 380 data attributes versus the 100 that you would get with this UI version. As mentioned, demographic append, what I just accomplished via the UI is available via API. As you can see, demographic, financial, so basic demographic, financial, lifestyles, political, and then you have the ability to do the full demographic as well. API documentation is publicly facing, so feel free to ask for access or to just simply create a trial, and then you'll be able to click API documentation on the left-hand side to gain access to do some testing. If you have any questions, please reach out to sales@versium.com, and we look forward to helping you enrich data and make smarter decisions when it comes to your marketing efforts. Have a great day.